Everybody, welcome back to
What's
another
good?
episode. We are podcasters, and today we have a special episode for everyone.
Very
But
special.
before we get into that, this weekend was Isaac's birthday, so you guys should drop something for my boy in the comments, man.
Hey.
Do some subscribers, drop something in the comments for my boy. Happy birthday to my boy Isaac.
Hey, thanks,
Um,
man.
but unfortunately for you, I haven't come to the end of this episode. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm,
guys, this episode we are doing an all-time Premier League 11. So here's simple rules, right? Isaac and
mhm.
I, at the end of the episode, are going to come up with one team for the all-time Premier League 11, but we each have our individual picks, right?
Yep.
Of course, we're going to go position by position, and best argument put forward takes the position, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's just see what's going on, and if you guys are watching this and you have a feeling that both of us got it wrong, put it in the comments. Let us know what's going on. But I think we should go over it. So Isaac, how did you come about your 11? What were you thinking about? What space?
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to me.
Me, first of all, like for me, this all started just because the guy we've been talking about recently, Mo Salah, a lot of us have been talking about it.
Yeah,
There have been arguments about, if
mm-hmm.
he should be. I mean, first it started with him versus Hazard,
Yeah,
which I mean, right now a lot of people say he's kind of overtaking that debate.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I still have my reservations,
Mm-hmm.
but so it kind of started with that, and then I heard some blasphemy, man, some blasphemy. People wanted to pick Salah over Ronaldo for a Prem all-time 11, and I'm hearing chats like, "Oh, Ronaldo is great, but he became great at Real Madrid," and I'm like,
Mm,
"Wait, did we actually take time to analyze his career in the Premier League and
mm-hmm.
stuff?" So that's how it started. I was like, "Nah, I need to build this thing." So for me, when I was building it, first of all, this is a Premier League all-time 11. It's a
Yeah,
Premier League.
mm-hmm.
You can't. So for me, number one, obviously when I'm starting, right? So if I pick two players I'm considering for a position, I go, okay, who is the better player, quality wise, right? So for what is needed in that position, so for example, if I think of, let's say, a holding midfield player, for example, for what
Mm-hmm.
is needed in that position in terms of, like, the defensive expectations, controlling the game, things like that, right? Do you have some pace? Are you quicker? Are you stronger? Stuff like that. Then I have a picture of, okay, so this guy is the better player. So that one was like my ultimate thing. Is like, okay, no, this
Mm-hmm.
one is ultimately the better player in terms of ability than the other player, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a case where I feel like they are neck and neck, then I come to things like, well, bro, it's a Premier League 11. I'm not going to put you in there if you've never ever won the title, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if there's another player who I think you're very close to in terms of quality, but has more titles than you or has
Mm-hmm.
won the title you never have, that takes precedence for me, right? Because
Okay,
you need to win a championship to show that you're a champion. That's what great players do. Great players don't just finish second or third; they win.
fair
So that
enough.
was my thing, right?
So
And then after,
am I hearing that
and then
Kane did make your team?
hey, relax,
Is
man.
this a
And then
predisposition?
after that,
Hey, let me
after
continue.
that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
and then after that, I consider individual awards, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
individual awards matter. It is an individual list we're building, right? So in
Mm-hmm.
some cases, your individual awards actually might move you up further before I even consider the number of titles. Like if the difference in titles was just two or one or something like that, then I want to consider what you won individually, right? So in that scenario, bro, if you want a Ballon d'Or, that's heavy on my heart. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that means you were the
Mm-hmm.
best player in the freaking world,
Mm-hmm.
not in the Premier League, in the world. So
Mm-hmm.
that counts for something as well. So that's just my background,
Okay.
and sort of
Yeah.
how I was thinking about it when I was building
Mm-hmm.
the thing. But there are other little things I consider, like, back in the day, defenders face, more quality strikers.
Mm-hmm.
Presently too, they could also argue the game has changed. It's faster, it's quicker. So,
Mm-hmm.
certain things are a little bit more different, things like that. So I try to, put all that into context. I also tried for in some cases to look at the player's career, outside of the Premier League. So what did they do in the Champions League? What did they do in Europe? What did they do for their
Mm-hmm.
countries, right? Not
Why
not
would you do
as
that?
as not like they are important, but in some players you consider them like they are so neck and neck, so neck and neck. You'd be like, there has to be one separator. And I'm like, oh, well,
Okay.
shit. The other guy not just performed in the Prem, but
Mm-hmm.
went to the Champions League and picked up a trophy, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
should count for something in favor of, one of the other players and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's just my thinking. So, talk me through what you did, man, and how
That's
you came up
proper.
with
That's
your
proper, man. That's proper. I like the way you approached it. I took not a different route, but I started from a different place. So I started like, okay, cool. If someone needed to field the best 11 for something drastic. I think you've watched those videos, those ads for Nike and I think Adidas where aliens come to the planet and they're like, we need the best 11 to come and face us in football, you know? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
if something was in the line here, right? Who do I trust to go on to defend us, to sort of represent us, right?
True, true.
And from that standpoint, I'm like, look, everything's on the line. I need players who can get the job done. I need players who are not only good, they're dominant. You feel me? Because so many players have played in the Prem before, right?
Yeah.
So that takes a lot of the individuality into it. I understand that football, right? The whole goal of football is to win. But I think when we're building lists like these are such fantasy lists. This isn't a team necessarily that you want to build based on how these other players have maybe played with other players, right? Because sometimes you can't win because you're passing passes to Darren Nunes. You know what I'm saying? But again, individual, how good were you as a player? And then of course,
Yes.
there's the formation of the team. What formation am I using? You know what I'm saying? I think I went for a traditional 4-3-3 just because
Same.
that was like one of the most common ways to play football. You can argue a 4-4-2, but I just think that if I needed this team today, a 4-3-3 is just so easy to manipulate and change. You can make it a 4-2-1-3, 4-2-3-1. You know what I'm saying? So again, and of course, taking into account what you did, right? Impact on both other players. What did they do in the Prem specifically?
Mhm,
I
mhm.
tried to steer clear from international tournaments, Champions League tournaments, because some players here that we're going to debate had some super crucial moments in the UCL or in the Euros, sometimes even the World Cup. But when it came to the Prem, they were kind of bland, and vice versa. So I tried to create that balance, right? And I think we're going to have an interesting discussion. I honestly anticipate that while we may have some heated moments, I think for the most part, this thing should be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I mean, we watch
I think
ball. We know
we watch
it's
ball.
like
We watch ball. We
so.
know what it
Some of
is.
them should be. Yeah, so man, we can get it right into it, man.
Yeah.
So
So I think goalkeeper. I think that's a tap in. I think that's a
it's a
tap.
tablet.
I
I
think
mean,
that's a
depends
tap.
on who you pick. Okay, so I went for Petacek. What did you
We're
pick?
pretty check. Oh,
Yeah.
we're already different, bro. I went for
I
my.
mean, who did you go for?
I went for
Let me
Kashif.
know.
I went for Schmeichel, bro. I
Okay,
went for
so
Schmeichel. I went for Schmeichel.
so,
I think.
so here's my thing.
Okay, what's your thing?
I was also debating between Schmeichel and Petacek, right?
Mhm.
Schmeichel does have more Premier League titles than Petacek, only one more. So I started from
Mhm.
there, right?
Okay.
Schmeichel was
Okay.
leading at that point, right? And then
Mhm.
I came individual.
Mhm.
Peter Schmeichel has been player of the year before, like player of the whole season before,
Yeah.
right?
I think he was.
Petacek never has done that.
I think he was the first
Um,
goalkeeper to do that, if I'm not mistaken.
exactly.
Yeah.
First and
Yeah.
probably only. First and only
And
goalkeeper
this
to
first and
have
only
done.
goalkeeper to do that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Um, but on the flip side, I mean, Petacek currently holds a record for most clean sheets in the Premier League.
Mhm.
Um,
Fair enough.
he does hold a record for most clean sheets ever in a season, 24 clean sheets. I mean, that's like
Mhm. Mhm.
mad. You get what I'm saying? As a
Mhm.
goalkeeper, he does have 4 Premier League titles.
Mhm.
He's won the Golden Glove a record number of times, like 4 times.
Mhm.
That's the most for any goalkeeper ever in the history of the Prem. I mean,
Mhm.
in Schmeichel's defense, in his time, there was no Golden Glove award, so we don't
Yeah.
know if he would have won it, right?
Mhm.
So I looked at those two and I'm like, well, at the end of the day, they are goalkeepers. Who was the better goalkeeper individually, right?
Mhm.
Schmeichel, Petacek has more clean sheets. Petacek
Yeah.
holds the record for most clean sheets in a single season. He's won
Mhm.
only one Premier League title less than Schmeichel.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went Petacek, man.
I understand. I like that argument, and I think those individual awards matter. But when I was thinking about my goalkeeper, I was like, this might be the easiest and hardest to pick from because what do we want the goalkeeper to do, right? We want them to save. We don't want them to concede.
Yeah,
We want to consider the defenses they played behind of. Of course, Peter Cech was part of that Chelsea team that conceded, I think, the least goals in Premier League history. I think it was just 15 goals, right? It's when Mourinho
yeah,
came and right, he was a good goalkeeper. I just feel like when it came to dominance in the box, one-on-one situations, saving, when it came to a goalkeeper who I just want behind the defenders, I'm on the field. I think Kasper Schmeichel edges it out for me as well, right? The fact that he also won that Player of the Season, I just feel like given the time period he was playing in, if he had perhaps played further when Peter Cech was playing as well, maybe some of those individual awards Peter Cech got would be with Schmeichel, to be honest. But that's me just
yeah.
extrapolating.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair argument, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, like I also wanted to pick Schmeichel, but at the end of the day, I was also like, it's goalkeeping. It's about clean sheets, right? You can talk about the
Hmm.
defense in front of them, bro. Schmeichel played with Jaap Stam. He played with
Hmm.
Dennis Irwin. Like he has
Hmm.
arguably
Hmm.
one of the greatest defense lines, right? Like Peter
Hmm.
Schmeichel had that too. So it's not like
So did
he
Peter
didn't
Cech,
have a
bro.
great.
He had
I mean, so did Peter
Ashley
Cech, right? But I'm
Cole,
just saying, I'm not
John
going to use that.
Terry, Yeah.
Fair, but I'm not gonna use that against like Peter Cech. Like, cause at the end of the day, I feel like both of them had their fair share of like really quality defenders,
Hmm.
right? But Peter Cech did keep the most clean sheets. He holds the record for most clean sheets in the Prem right now,
No,
right? And has won only one less title, right? I mean, I do
true.
get it, right?
Yeah.
I would lean to Schmeichel. I'm gonna concede to Schmeichel just due to the fact that he's been player of the season before. I think that should count for something. That
Hmm.
means that whole season you were the best player, and for a
Hmm.
goalkeeper to win that is like it means you were really good, right?
Hmm.
And he's big. He's dominating. Like he's a dominant goalkeeper, right? So
I think so. And like,
I'll
dude,
concede.
6'4", big boy. Look, I think that Peter Cech is a good pick. If we were to make a bench, Peter
Mhm.
Cech first on my bench, right? Even ahead of Allison and Edison, honestly speaking. I'd put
For
Peter Cech
sure.
on my
No,
bench,
no,
right?
no.
I just think that's a good
Mhm.
point, right? Also, if you want to add a little nudge, Peter Schmeichel, I think, was the first goalkeeper to score in the Prem. Hey, look, Prem Hall of
Okay.
Fame. Is Peter Cech in the Prem Hall of Fame?
Okay.
Wait, is Peter Cech in the Prem
Okay.
Hall of Fame?
Of course. What are you talking? The guy holds the most clean
Oh, he is in
sheets
the.
in history.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough,
Like,
fair
let's
enough,
not. He holds the most clean sheets
fair
in
enough.
Premier
Look,
League
I'm
history
not
as a
taking
goalkeeper.
that from him. I'm not taking that from him.
Bro, 24 clean sheets in a single season is no joke, Jojo.
It's not.
Like Petr or something. So
Yeah, no,
we'll
sure.
concede. We'll concede to
I
Schmeichel.
see Peter.
Schmeichel is
Shout out to my boy Schmeichel. But honestly speaking, I think the argument for Peter Cech was really good. I didn't expect that. Honestly, I thought it was just a tap in for me. And
no
if
no.
if it was to go anyway, either way, I would allow Peter Cech. I would allow Peter Cech. I don't
Okay.
mind it. So let's go. Do you want to go left back or right back first?
I mean left back just because I think left back should be easy and straightforward.
Oh, no, that's a
I
tap in
think
as
the
well.
greatest
Yeah.
left back in Premier League history is Dennis Irwin.
Oh, no, I think.
It's
Oh,
okay, bro. You can make that actually code debate. Make it. I'm listening, man.
oh, dude. Okay. Again, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that pick. Why did you pick Erwin over Ashley Cole? I want to know.
Bro, he's won the Premier League 7 times. He scored more goals than Ashley Cole in the Premier League in less games. He
Mm-hmm.
scored 18. Ashley Cole scored only 15,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Ashley Cole played more games than Dennis Irwin.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley Cole has what, 3 Premier League titles, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Irwin has 7. You know this thing where
Mm-hmm.
fullbacks play ball and thing. You know Dennis Irwin started that thing, bro. Where
Mm-hmm.
fullbacks play the ball, they can play, they can, bro. Nah, there is no way I am putting Ashley Cole ahead of Dennis Irwin. I'm not even gonna accept it.
Okay. You know what? I'm willing to concede to that even before I make my Ashley Cole argument, just because I feel like
Right.
you made the argument for Dennis Irwin being like the father of modern fullbacks, right? And I feel like that became popularized by Ashley Cole, the way he'd go back to back and stop top wingers, right? Ronaldo specifically, who are gonna have in this list, right? Had I think the worst time of his life against Ashley Cole, right? That whole left flank, bro, dominance,
True.
bro, pace back to back. I don't think he has the stats to show for it, but when we're just looking at the way he used to play, bro, he was almost a tap in almost in any single Premier League team that he could play, bro. Both Chelsea
No,
and
true,
Arsenal.
true. Like,
So,
let me even give you some context. Like, before I even picked Dennis Irwin, it was actually cool for me. That was the
mhm.
thing. Because I do think, like, to the eye, I mean, he's the one we saw, stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? Aside that, the splits Ronaldo made him do, we've never seen him being humiliated before. Like, he's arguably the greatest, like, England
Mhm.
left back, right? Like, if you were going to do, like, an English left back, right? Because Dennis Irwin, I think, is Irish or something like that, right?
Mhm.
He gets him, but for the Premier League, I mean, bro, he has 7 Premier League titles, man. 7 of them has scored more goals than Ashley
Mhm.
Cole. I mean, he was just too good, and I just didn't want to like overlook that
Mhm.
because I never watched him. You get what I'm saying? So this one I went
Yeah. Yeah.
purely on the stats, the individuals and things like that, and I just think he edges it over Ashley Cole for me. So yeah, it's
I
Dennis
can
Irwin, man.
agree. I can agree. I can agree. The one thing I would say is I think attacking wise, Ashley Cole was better, right? Just when it came to like dominating an attack and just like fielding what the modern fullback should do right now. I think
Bro,
Dennis Irwin was
Dennis
more
Irwin was
traditional.
scoring free kicks, bro. Jojo. Dennis Irwin was scoring free kicks. He has
Are
more
you
goals
sure?
than Ashley Cole in less games.
Are you sure?
Like,
Okay,
I
okay, no. Think about like the status, the state of Manchester United at the
mean,
time, right? Right, the teams we were playing against. I just feel like Ashley Cole came into a period where football was transforming to what we know it today, right? Things were just becoming tough as a fullback to play and dominate. And sure, he didn't convert as much, but when he came to just that pure ability, right? That pure ability, I think Ashley Cole edges it out for me, to be honest. But I'm willing to concede Dennis Irwin, and I must admit, I watched more Ashley Cole than Dennis Irwin, right? But I don't want to take away from what he did for the team. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I'm willing
Mhm.
to concede Irwin. Should we
Okay.
go to the other flank?
Yeah, right back.
Right back. I had Gary Neville. Who did you
Yeah.
have? I had Gary Neville. Though it was tough for
Yeah,
me,
this one
Loki.
it was tough.
It
It
was
was tough
tough.
for me too as well. Because I went Kyle Walker.
I was just about to do Kyle Walker. I was about to do Kyle
I
Walker.
went Kyle Walker. In the end, what I did was
Mhm.
so titles is not a big difference because Walker also has like 6 of them, right? And
Neville
Gary
has what,
Neville, I think,
11?
has
Neville has 11.
yeah, Gary Neville has slightly more, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kawaka too can say, I did 4 in a row. No one has ever done that,
I
stuff
mean,
like that. So,
sure, but no.
but
Yeah.
so here's how I went. Again,
Mm-hmm.
this one too went down to okay. So we're building a team,
Mm-hmm.
strong team that no one can beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I look at Ashley Quinn and Dennis Irwin, their abilities were actually Dennis Irwin was just as fast, Dennis Irwin was just as quick, just as strong defensively,
Mm-hmm.
good in attack, could even score fixes and stuff like that, right? But I look at Gary Neville and Kawaka is like, bro, I mean, Kawaka is quicker, he's stronger,
Mm-hmm.
he's faster, and he's better defensively.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I think what makes Gary Neville a hard choice for me to pick is he was like a great like he was a great player, right? You're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna think, oh, generational. He didn't have like this unique traits, like he wasn't like an amazing passer of the ball, quick
Mm-hmm.
or anything. He was just super like he would always give you a 7/10, right? But over a long period of time. So
Mm-hmm.
shout out to him for his consistency and everything. I just think this is one of those cases where I just feel like the other player is just a far better player in that. But like, if I want to pick one player in that position, I'm gonna pick Kyle Walker.
Okay,
That's it.
I agree with your point, and I think Kyle Walker is a better athlete than Gary Neville.
Yes.
Right, he's quicker, faster,
Mhm.
stronger. But I think Gary Neville, like you said, just over that dominance over a long period of time for me is what sold me, honestly. Like I'd rather have the 7 out of 10 for 10 years, right, than have the 9 out of 10 for three, then a 4 for 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Kyle Walker was that far below Gary Neville. I'm just saying with 8 Premier League titles to boost for it, especially among a team that was so dominant. Like Gary Neville was almost a guaranteed player for United, bro. There was never a time where you'd hear that Gary Neville needed to be replaced. Like among all the things that you needed to that were happening among the team, right? So many people came in and came out, but Ferguson knew that Gary Neville was his player, his right back, solid, bro. You feel what I'm saying? And it
Yeah.
comes true. He won him 8 Premier League titles, bro. So I just feel like that dominance over time, bro. If I needed a player who just knows how to win consistent, I'm not saying Kauka doesn't.
He's
Maybe I'm
6
being,
titles.
I'm-
4 in a row, man.
maybe I'm just being,
Gee.
I'm being more traditionalist. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if I want to concede this one because Gary Neville, bro,
I mean,
eight
what do you
titles.
think Gary Neville can do that Kyle Walker cannot do? That's the thing. There's nothing. But there
You
are some
can,
things we can at least say that Kyle Walker can do that Gary Neville cannot do.
okay, sure.
That's my thing.
You can be quicker. You can be fast off the ball. You can torment those defenders back and forth. But Neville could do all those things as well. He wasn't playing against cheapish players, bro. Right? He wasn't playing against
Yeah,
cheapish
but
players, and he was able to maintain that sort of consistency over that time, bro. Among players who are also just as good. I don't know, man. Okay, look, I'll concede Walker just because he was faster, and probably only because it would make sense to have a City player in this defense, I guess, right? And I think also I'm about to field for centre back. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, sure. I
So,
mean, I'm saying, like if, like you're saying, if aliens came in and they said, let's put out a best team, I think Kyle Walker should be in over Gary Neville. I mean, I'm not saying Gary Neville wasn't great. I'm just saying, like,
mhm.
Kyle Walker is just a better player than Gary Neville. And Gary Neville has said this himself before too. So I
Gary Neville has never admitted. Gary Neville has never admitted to being in the top Premier League 11. But he said that's just a him thing. I know the interview you're talking about. Like he just doesn't
Yeah,
want to, kind of seem
and I
egoistical.
understand that.
Like that's just who Gary Neville is, right? But I think when it comes to a traditional right back, who again because we have Dennis Urban on the other wing as well, right? When it comes to a traditional right back who can help moving forward, but also is superior defensively, because Kyle Walker is good defensively, but I don't think defensively is that superior than Gary Neville. You feel what I'm saying? Like he's really, really good.
Defensively,
He's really, really
Jojo,
good.
this man be
But
locking down the
I,
Mbappes, the Viniciuses. He locks them man down, bro.
no,
Tiny
but see,
timeout.
he's I
Like,
think he's quicker more than his tactically superior. You feel what I'm saying? Like if guy if you give Gary Neville Kyle Walker's speed, he becomes a far better defender than Kyle Walker.
yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't.
He doesn't
He
have the
doesn't
speed,
have
so
it.
like Kyle Walker
I'm
and
just saying,
and he doesn't have
he
the speed.
doesn't.
I can't blame Kyle Walker for not for having that edge over him. I just think that
Right.
when it comes to pure defensive ability, speed is a part of it, but not the whole part of it, right? You gotta be able to,
Look,
know when to
here's my
tackle, know
thing.
when to be there. So that's why I think.
No, cool. In the end, I edged towards Kawaka because also I'm also thinking about the teams, right? I
Mhm,
think Gary Neville benefited more as a product of the superior team and superior defense he had. I mean, he was playing with Yap Stams, the Roy Keanes, the Vidic, and
mhm,
stuff like that, and Roy Keane in front of him organizing everything. But you look at Kawaka, if you think about how Manchester City has been playing in the time
mhm.
that they were dominated, he's always the last man trying to catch everyone, and every single time he caught the person. So I feel like
He was quick enough to
individually,
do that. He was
like
quick
I
enough to
just
do
don't
that.
see Gary Neville doing that. I just don't see him being able to do that.
No,
So I just
because
feel like
he just wasn't quick
this
enough.
one has to go to Kawaka for me, man.
Okay, are we edging it because Kawaka was quicker than Gary Neville? Is that what we're doing it? All you've said is
But
because
he's a
Kawaka
better
was
right
faster.
back. No, but Jojo,
Hmm?
having speed and being more physical is part of the qualities of being a right back, and he just has that.
So I just don't want us to overinflate the speed, right? Because speed is a good thing,
It's an important attribute,
but I don't
super
want it
important,
to.
especially for the position.
Is
And
it the
it's not like
NO
he's just a
and VO here?
speedster. Like he's not just like some runner or something. The guy is
Mhm.
good. Like how many times have you seen Kawaka being beaten a one on one? How many times? I mean, of
I
course,
mean, fair
obviously,
enough. Just because you can outrun
recently
the
when
player.
Adama spinned him, but like, I'm just saying, like, it's not like
Mhm.
he's terrible defensively. He's always on it, and he's done his fair share, in my opinion. So I feel like
Fair enough.
you
I'll
know,
concede Walker. I'll concede Walker. I'll
yeah,
concede
and like
Walker.
you say, I mean, I don't want us to also build a whole backline of just Manchester United. You feel me?
No, but if that's the case, that's the case. We were dominant for a reason, bro. Like, wait, if that's but hey, look again. I get your point, and let's first go to that point. Back in the day, at least up until let's say the 2010s, the Premier League was dominated by Liverpool, United, Arsenal, and Chelsea, right? So
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
it would be good if you have a representation of all those teams here, right?
Yeah.
And then to maybe City, of course, because of the earlier days. So I'm willing to concede Walker. I just think Gary Neville is not that far behind him, in my
No,
opinion.
I'm not saying he's that far
Yeah.
behind. I mean, just some quick stats also, right? Gary Neville in 400
Mm-hmm.
games for in the Premier League, five and had 35
Mm-hmm.
assists, 148 clean sheets,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
410 410 appearances, so slightly more
Mm-hmm.
appearances. He had 8 goals, so
Mm-hmm.
he had three more goals than Gary Neville. He had
Mm-hmm.
36 assists, so again one more assist than Gary Neville, and kept 130 clean sheets. So Gary Neville edges it in the clean sheets, chat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, more Premier League titles. But again,
Mm-hmm. I mean,
it's a, it's a, it's a
to your point, what's the whole point of a defender, bro? You feel what I'm saying? Like to win and to keep
yeah.
clean
But
sheets.
you want us to go back and put Peter Check and go there? Come
To
on.
keep clean sheets. I think that's a different.
It's okay, man.
That's a different atmosphere.
Yeah,
But fair
it's
enough.
okay, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think
I'll
I'll
take
work.
Walker. I'll take Walker. So we have
Yeah.
Schmeichel, Irwin, Walker. I think we should do the centre backs as a pairing.
Yes, sir.
So I think I have John Terry and I have Rio Ferdinand.
Same. There's no need to
Yeah.
argue here.
I think
But I
I
will say
think
though,
he is it. Huh?
I will say
Mm-hmm.
Picking John Terry was a tough one.
What was picking John Terry a top one?
Over no, because I did want to say John Terry just because I mean the goals for a defender. I mean he has like crazy
Mm-hmm.
amounts of goals for it.
Most
He was
amount
actually
of
really
goals.
good at all like the diagonals. Won
Mm-hmm.
the title like 6 times or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also like Vidic, bro. Vidic has been player of
Oh.
the season 2 times.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Two-time player of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Also really, really good. I think won the Prem like 4 or 5 times as well. Like he was a good
Mm-hmm.
shout. So I wanted to I was considering him. But I want you to talk to me like why is Virgil van Dijk not in your list?
Oh, I think. Okay, let's go back to when Virgil van Dijk came on the scene, right? And I, honestly speaking, if you check my notes, I had Ferdinand, but I had in brackets, I had Stone, Sol Campbell, and Virgil van Dijk, right? So I was like, okay, cool. Why am I picking Ferdinand over these guys? One, more Prem titles for Ferdinand, right? I feel like Virgil van Dijk is who Ferdinand was, you know what I'm saying? And more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The type of profile, type of player. Ferdinand wasn't the
Yeah.
quickest player, but he was one of the smartest defenders, right? When it came to easing in the tackle, and I think that's what made, I did no disrespect to Vidic, but I think Vidic shone a lot because he played alongside Ferdinand. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
Ferdinand just knows when to go into the tackle. He just knew exactly how to be the boss of that defense. The same way Virgil is. So just because of that alone, to be honest, I had to pick Ferdinand. Now, again, Virgil is a really good player. I don't want recency bias to kind of be there. Second in Ballon d'Or, we'll give that to him. You feel what I'm saying? But I just feel like if Virgil puts more miles on his soul, then maybe we can have that conversation. I just can't see why he's better than Ferdinand. Honestly, I just can't see it. I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, man. I mean, I thought you were about to do a crazy one here, put Virgil. And I was like,
Oh
okay.
hell nah. Oh hell nah.
Yeah,
Nah.
man.
That's
So
recency violence, bro.
yeah, I mean, funny enough, Virgil might not even make my top five Prem defenders of all time. That's the
Word.
thing, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I'm gonna talk John Terrace, I'm gonna talk Rio Fed, I'm gonna talk
Mm-hmm.
Vidic.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably mention Sol Campbell, bro,
So Campbell,
invincible
bro.
season.
Honestly, oh,
Like,
that's crazy.
I'm gonna talk
That's
about all
hilarious.
these man. And I always say this:
Mm-hmm.
people shit a lot on Ruben Diaz's name, but Ruben Diaz, for those who don't know, has been player of the season 2 times in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
2 times, Ruben Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you think about Manchester City's dominance, Ruben Diaz has been very influential in that. So I
Super
might even
crucial.
pick him over Virgil, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. And I
Right.
won't
But
be mad
hey,
at that. I won't be mad at that.
yeah. Shout
I
out to
just
Virgil though. I just
shout,
feel like
shout out to Virgil.
he's not that guy.
He's not that guy. Maybe if he signs with Liverpool and stays. How old is he right now? 30 what?
33 already, man.
33? Ah,
Like,
dude, it's game over. I feel like he'll always be in that A tier category, but S tier, I got Ferdinand, bro. I got Ferdinand and John
yeah.
Terry. Terry
Same,
just
same,
like you
same.
said, the goals, right? The clean
Yeah.
sheet, just also that dominance in the back, bro. Like he was Chelsea's backbone,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
think
he's arguably the greatest defender in Prem history. So,
honestly,
yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah.
such a
Shout out to
powerhouse.
John Terry.
Shout out to him for also
Right.
missing that penalty against United in the Champions League. I put him in for that as well.
Shout out JT.
Ah, JT.
Hey, I mean, I must say, so far we have a pretty
Yeah,
balanced,
yeah. I think
back line. So yeah,
I think we're doing good, but this is where most of the contention is about to start because
alrighty,
I'm picking three midfielders, right? I'm picking three
yes
midfielders.
sir.
Oh, this was hard. This was hard for me, bro. Let me tell you who I was considering
Yeah, it was
first.
a tough.
Yeah, let me tell you who I was considering first, right? So
Okay,
these are the guys I considered. I considered Gerrard, Lampard, Roy Keane, Scholes, Vieira, KDB, Conte, Rodri. Yeah, those are nine. Those are eight. And from these eight, I'm like, I need to pick three. I need to pick two at the back. I need to pick one at the front. So I'm playing like a 4-3-3, but I have like maybe a number 10 who edges out forward. So let me
true.
start with that player. That number 10 for me is KDB.
Okay,
I put KDB in there just because you can't ignore just how pivotal he's been to City, bro. Every like KDB is City, bro. And you just can't ignore just how much he's done in that number 10 role, the passes, the assists, bro. Even the kind of goals he scored, the way he'll just boss up a midfield. Again, such an intelligent player. Not the quickest, not the strongest, but when it came to slicing and dicing an attack, bro, KDB is up there. Strikers have benefited from KDB. Aguero, Haaland, bro. Both are a direct benefit because KDB was there. And I just think in a team like this, if you need someone to facilitate the attack, then KDB, especially with the strikers we're about to discuss, you need KDB's passing, right? So then I'm like, okay, cool. If I have KDB, who are the two players behind him? I need the midfielder who scored the most number of goals in the Premier League ever. So I said I need Lampard in there, right? You just can't have Chelsea without Lampard. To be honest, Chelsea is Lampard and John Terry, and I feel like Lampard was just such an instrumental part of that Chelsea team. You know the number of titles he hasn't won that many titles, but just the fact that he scored the most goals as a midfielder, right? The way he played
Yeah.
back to back, I feel like Lampard was the father of most more than maybe number sixes, right? Who always go forward, edge out the box, and maybe get into the box
Yeah,
for
box to
goals.
box players. Yeah.
Box to box player, Lampard is in there. So I said KDB Lampard. So my third was the most contentious. And I said, originally I was considering Gerard, bro. I said, dude, Gerard is such a good player for Liverpool. But I said, he only won once. And I think most of Gerard's iconic moments were not really even in the Prem. Like, iconic moments. Is that UCL game in '05 that I think is
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
Gerard's
yeah, yeah.
highlights? But I said, you know what? There's players like Gerard who have won more titles, who have been better players, who have been more dominant, more instrumental presences, like that midfield, like Grant in the midfield, right? Players like Rikin and Scholes, even Vieira, bro. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna just take Scholes. So I took Scholes. I have Scholes, Lampard, and KDB. Um,
Aye.
talk to me, boss.
Okay.
Yeah, talk
Okay.
to
I
me.
mean, hey, we agree on two players. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, who
I
do you
just,
agree on?
just think, I just think your midfield as it is, bro. Hey, man, there is no defense in your midfield, bro. It's like just attack, attack, attack. Cause which is fine. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
just built your like best midfield three, which makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, same thing. I actually consider same players you considered. The only one I didn't consider was Rodri. I
Okay.
didn't
Fair
consider Rodri because although Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, I went to look at some of his stats and I'm like, bro, like Rodri has been good like the past 3 years. I just don't
enough.
think there's enough in his belt to get into an all-time, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Premier League 11. Again, ahead of like a Patrick Vieira,
Mm-hmm.
invincible season. Like
Mm-hmm.
he, pound for pound, in terms of player profile,
Mm-hmm.
is arguably the best holding midfielder in the Prem history. I mean,
Yeah.
the size, the
Size,
height, the
dominance.
dominance.
You
You
can't
know what
fight
I'm
it.
saying? So
Mm-hmm.
if I was gonna create a defensive midfielder, I would create Patrick Vieira. That one there,
Mm-hmm.
like that was my check, right?
Yeah.
Even him versus Roy King, because he could do everything Roy King could do with the added ability of being taller and bigger and stronger and everything, right? It's just
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
Roy King has the titles to back it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was a
yeah.
tough one, but
Yeah.
100% you cannot build a midfield three without Kevin De Bruyne like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You KDB needs to be in there,
He
right?
needs to
Like
be in there.
the
Mm-hmm.
guy has 118 assists. That's like the most for
Mm-hmm.
midfielders in history, right? 118 assists.
Honestly.
He's won the Playmaker Award 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
He's been 2-time Player of the Season. For me, Player of the Season matters. So if you
Mm-hmm.
win it 2 times, then you're a top match player, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it means in the Prem season, that whole season, you were the best player.
Yeah.
You feel me? And
Mm-hmm.
he's won the title 6 times. So KDB for sure. And then on my 10 position, no
No, no
arguments,
doubt. No, I'm glad we agree there.
right? And then Paul Scholes is that one midfielder who, to the right, is like arguably the greatest midfielder of his generation. Like people talk
Mm-hmm.
about Paul Scholes in the likes of, along names of like Zidane, Xavi, Iniesta. Like he was that
He
good in
was
terms
up
of
there. Yeah.
controlling. So Scholes gets in there. And also, I mean, 11 Premier League titles. I mean, come on,
No,
man.
you can't
Not going to
argue with
build a
that.
mid.
You can't argue
You
with
feel
that.
me? So
Mm-hmm.
Scholes, KDB.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, the holding midfielder role, man, it was tough. No
Okay.
Lampard for me,
Okay. No, fair.
unfortunately.
I think maybe because you're playing a different formation than I am. Because I don't
No,
necessarily have
I'm
like a
playing.
central.
The thing is, I'm playing something similar, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
playing KDB as a 10
Mm-hmm.
and like two holding midfielders, but like, they are more like central midfielders who can,
Same.
they share the
Same. Same.
defense among them.
Yeah. Same.
But Lampard, I wanted to put Lampard. I'm not going to lie. I
Mm-hmm.
did.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I did it like a one for one type situation. Am I going to pick Lampard over KDB? No. Am I going to pick Lampard over Paul Scholes? Unfortunately, no. As
Mm-hmm.
much as I like the fact that he scores goals, this is not what this team is all about,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have goals. Goals will come from the front line. You get what I'm saying? There are other
Mm-hmm.
elements to this game that I feel like he just didn't do enough for me to say, okay, I should show in Lampard. So
Mm-hmm.
I went with Roy Keane.
Mm-hmm.
just because
Mm. Mm-hmm.
7 Premier League titles, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. He won the treble.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
arguably the greatest captain in the history of the Prem. Like, you know what
I
I'm
think he's
saying?
the
Like,
greatest captain in the history of the Prem, and the most ruthless
exactly.
too. Roy Keane could actually.
So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it had to be Roy for me, right? The only person I was willing to concede Roy for was Patrick Vieira. The
Mm-hmm.
only reason why I didn't go to Patrick Vieira is because, he had, I think, just 3 Prem titles.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Roy Keane has more titles. So, he will edge it. Right. But you didn't even make an argument for Patrick Vieira. I
No,
mean,
I
if it
did.
is Roy Keane versus Lampard, I am picking Roy Keane.
I didn't make an argument for Vieira only because again he has less titles. He was a good established player, right? I just don't
Mhm.
think Invincible season was one of the best, bro. I just
Yeah.
didn't take his output for me. I was actually, honestly speaking, the player who here was a non-negotiable for me was KDB. Scholes
Same.
and Lampard, I was willing to, bounce around. You know what I'm saying? Lampard, I only took him just because of his output, bro. All-time top 10 assists, top 10 goals. That's something, bro.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah, it is. It is. But
yeah, and I think you need that kind of creative brilliance, just in case let's say KDB is running out of fuel and fumes because Lampard had a tank, bro. KDB does not have a tank like that, right? So Lampard can always come in.
so do you want to do Lampard over KDB?
Fuck no.
I mean, it sounds like what I'm hearing. Because,
I
like, I'm
mean,
not going to.
okay. You know
We
what?
need we need a midfield general. At the end of the day, we
Okay.
need a midfield general,
You know what?
right? We need a defensive type midfield general.
But if you
So who
take
is
out
that player?
KDB, okay, midfield general, honestly, Scholes can be that player. Scholes can be that player, bro.
A defensive no, he's an orchestrator, right?
Yeah.
He controls the game. Who is gonna
Exactly.
be putting in the tackles? Who is gonna be, bringing down the energy, the
I
organization? Who
mean,
is that player?
we in our defense, bro. I think we got that covered up. I can't lie.
Because we need to also be fair to different profiles of midfielders, right? We can't just
Mhm.
say because Lampard scored more goals than, let's say he will score more goals than, let's say, Roy Keane ever would, right? Because
Yeah.
they were two different kinds of midfielders,
Hmm.
right? They
Hmm.
both did different things in the game. So I feel like we need to be fair to those other midfield players like the Roy Keanes, the Rodris, the Patrick Vieiras, those kind of players whose job were there to just break up the play, get the team moving from the back, and organize from the back, right? We need to be fair to those kind. And then we need to be fair to the controllers, right? The Paul Scholes,
Hmm.
the David Silvers,
Hmm.
right?
I'm
We
going
need to
to
be
say
fair to
David
those guys as
Silva.
well. Then we also need to be fair to, like, the box to box Mandems, right? The Lampards,
Hmm.
Yaya Toure,
Mm.
Kante, like those
Hmm.
kind of players, right?
Hmm.
Of course, we need to be fair to the creative machines, the KDBs,
Hmm.
Bruno Fernandes,
Hmm.
he's even a good shout,
He's,
Mesut Ozil, those kind of
yeah,
guys.
he's a
So
good
I feel
shot,
like
right?
we need a good balance. We can't just shoe in Lampard. If you want to bring in Lampard, then you need to make an argument as to why you're going to pick Lampard over, say, a KDB
Hmm.
or a Postcode. That's my argument.
You make a
And
very
I just don't think he edges us over those two. He doesn't. He
cool
just
KDB.
doesn't. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
I'm
I'm
going to
saying
argue. Okay,
Lampard. I'm not picking Lampard over Scholes or KDB. I'm not.
okay, fair enough. I'm not picking Lampard over Scholes or KDB either. But again, if we're trying to account for all the profiles, Lampard is in the top 10 assists, top 10 goals. He's a creative outlet. He can theoretically fill in that number 10 role, right? And we could put maybe a more defensive midfielder in there. I just don't know how comfortable I am actually taking KDB out of this because he's too spectacular of a passer, of a
And
facilitator.
again,
I just don't know, bro.
KDB has been player of the season two
Twice.
times. Lampard never. Lampard never. So he would chip in with
Was
goals every
Lampard
now and
never the
again.
player of the season, actually? Was he never the player of the season? Never? At all?
Ever.
Oh, let me look at this real quick. Was Lampard never the player of the season?
Never,
Um,
man.
I don't know. Let me see. I don't think that's true, to be honest. I think at least, um, yeah, he was the player of the season in '05. He was the player of the season in '05. Chelsea Player of the Year
Okay,
flag,
okay.
3 Prem titles. You know what I'm saying? All top goal scorer. I just don't know, man. Like, when it comes to a versatile midfielder, Lampard is up there. I think Lampard is more versatile than KDB, but KDB is just
All right.
so. I think KDB is just so. He's really good at what he's good at. Like he's such a specialist, and you need that kind of facilitation in the number 10 role, right? KDB isn't going to run all the way back.
All right, Jojo. Jojo. Okay, Jojo. Now you're okay. Make a decision, man. So who would you want in the number 10 position? So here's my chat. For me, so far as I have Scholes
Mm-hmm.
and Roy Keane at the back, I mean, you didn't even make an argument against Roy Keane. So far as I have those two at the back, I mean, I can concede to anything in the number 10 row. I like KDB. I like KDB. I personally would pick KDB
Mm-hmm.
just because of like watching and like, my God,
Mm-hmm.
even the player of the season, well, he's won it 2 times. Lampard has won it once. You get what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? He
Mm-hmm.
has more assists than Lampard in less amount of games, like far less
Mm-hmm.
amount of games as well, right? Lampard played 609 games. KDB is still under 300. That's half that. And still has more assists than Frank Lampard. So if you talk about who is a creative machine, it's definitely Kevin De Bruyne. But I also get your point about the versatility in Frank Lampard, his
Yeah,
ability
I
to
think,
score goals.
yeah.
He has more in it, things like that. But
For all
I
the
don't know,
assists
man.
he's missing in KDB, he's making up for goals, right? So when
True,
it comes to
true.
actual GA, Lampard has more GA than KDB. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, and that's what that's what a number 10 is supposed to do. You know, you can provide some assists, but you can provide some goals as well. Now,
Mhm.
we have so many goals in the front three. So many. So I think for that reason, I'll concede more assists. I'll concede Roy Keane, and you can have Roy Keane. I think you can take Roy Keane. We'll have KDB, Roy Keane, and Scholes. I guess we need that sort of. But I see Roy Keane is gonna get red carded, bro. Roy Keane wants to play. Roy Keane-
No, but like some good shouts for like Yaya Toure,
Yeah.
those man them. Hey, those man them with Patrick Vieira, like that was a really strong one. I really wanted to get him in there, but
hmm
ultimately, Roy Keane, unfortunately, man,
Do you think we should make
my
a
man.
bench, of like maybe
Yeah,
eight,
maybe we can do like a quick bench when we're done.
a quick bench and a coach. But okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
So far we have Schmeichel, Ashley Cole,
Mhm.
Terry, Ferdinand, Walker. Then in front of
We
those,
didn't do Ashley Cole, man. Hey,
oh
man,
no,
we did Dennis Irwin.
We have Irwin. Then we have Roy Keane scores. Then we have KDB. Now let's talk about
Yes,
the dangerous front three.
yes,
Let's
sir.
let's start with the most obvious, bro. Right?
Okay.
Okay, because this team isn't complete. Like, if you don't mention this guy, we can quit the recording now, bro. We can stop. I need my Ballon d'Or winner, bro. Three-time Premier League winner in a row, by the way. He won all the individual awards, bro. Prem Player of the Year, Euro Player of the Year,
hmm
most dangerous
hmm
player almost to exist, bro. The GOAT. I
hmm
need Cristiano,
The
bro.
goat.
I need him on the left wing.
Cristiano.
I need Cristiano on the left wing.
Oh, that's what you're doing?
That's what I'm doing.
Interesting.
I put Cristiano on
Okay,
the left.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Did you have someone else on
Let's
the
hear
left?
the chat, Jojo.
Did you have someone else on the? I think I had someone else on the left.
I have someone else on the left.
Yeah.
You
Can I guess
know?
who it is? Can I guess who it
Sure.
is?
Yeah, guess who it is?
Did you have Henry on the left?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Henry on the left, man. Henry on the
Mm-hmm.
left.
I had Ronaldo on the left. I had Ronaldo on
Okay.
the left just because we're about to have a heated debate, but on the right, I had someone else. So okay, cool. So you have Ronaldo on your right.
Mm-hmm.
Ronaldo is in this team, so I think we can always alternate. But
Yes.
I was looking for a left-footed demon on the left, bro, or on the right rather. Right. Initially I had Ronaldo and Henry actually as both my wingers. I had Ronaldo and Henry, and I looked into it more today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, cool. What's the job of a left winger? I just need to cut in, score goals, maybe assists. And I compared Henry to. Let me actually pull up the comparison again, so I know I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I compared Henry.
Defend yourself, man.
I compared Henry to
My man
Salah.
is you're about to chat blasphemy.
Look, look. I'm willing to concede this one, but I was considering either Giggs or Salah for that, right?
Oh, Giggs was a good one. You see,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, Giggs is a good Salah, that's just bullshit in my opinion, but Giggs is a good one.
So I had Giggs, Salah, right? So I had Giggs, Salah. Then I had Ronaldo, Henry on the other side. So I put in Giggs. To be honest, I feel like, dude, Giggs is the epitome of football, bro. when it comes to consistency, when it comes to that left foot, when it comes to just someone who
True,
can dominate,
true, true,
when it
true.
comes to someone who can pass the ball. I mean, most assists for a reason, right? Pass the ball. When it comes to someone who can cross the ball, facilitate play, dismantle that defender. Dude, Ryan Giggs is something else. Now, he wasn't nearly as athletic as Henry, but I feel like he's a better right winger than Henry is. You know what I'm saying? When it comes just to
Yeah,
playing
but
that position.
I'm not gonna put Henry on the right wing, am I?
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
listen, shout out to Ryan Giggs,
Shout out to Ryan Giggs.
right? I do think he's one of the Premier League legends, right?
Hmm.
The only thing for me is my man spent how many seasons in the Prem? Like what, 13 seasons or something like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like he was great, right? He was
Hmm.
like I don't think of Giggs and think, oh, he had one like crazy. He's never been player of the season before. Like he didn't have like one like crazy like he's that player who every season 10 assists, every season 15 assists. Like,
Hmm.
he's there every season consistently. And
Hmm.
because he spent a long time here, he racked up the assists. It's like me thinking of Alan Shearer. He was a great striker and stuff like that. But I'm just
Mm.
like,
I don't
we're
like
building
that.
a team of the best of the best. We're building a team of the best of the best.
He has 13
Ryan
Premier
Giggs,
League titles, bro.
unfortunately,
13 titles,
like,
bro. 13.
yeah, he does, man. We get that, but
It gets to a point.
never once was he player of the season. Never
Look,
once. So never
okay,
once,
every
and
season, look at who he
never
was
once for
playing
those
with.
titles. Listen, never once for those titles can he
Hmm.
say that. Yeah, it is because of me they won these titles. You get what I'm saying? Like these are the kind of players I want in this team that can point to themselves and say, "Nah, they won this because of me." Terry Henry can say that at
Hmm.
least on two occasions because he's been player of the season two times. You feel
Hmm.
me? He has the best goal to game ratio
Hmm.
in Premier League history.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So for the number of appearances and his actual output, he has more than everyone else, man. Everyone else,
Sure, but
right? He
like,
has the goal and assist to back it, bro. Like he
mm,
and bro, the eye test. I mean, obviously, if you build a Premier League Mount Rushmore, obviously Thierry Henry is gonna be on it. So Thierry Henry has to be in this team, right? That one we can agree.
no, see, he has to be. He's competing against Ronaldo, but that's the problem.
But that's what I'm saying. There doesn't have to be a competition, right?
Huh?
Because Ronaldo, for me, I'm gonna put him on the right. I'm gonna put Thierry Henry on the left.
Hmm.
Because I also can't build a Premier League all-time 11 without putting Wayne Rooney in there. That
Of course,
also
no. I mean,
come with
we can
big.
spoil it now. Rooney's playing up front, right?
That's what I'm
That's
saying. Wayne
guaranteed.
Rooney has to be. So
Rooney's playing up front.
it's a case of
I just think,
left wing, right?
look, let's go back to the argument you made about him not being a substantial reason why Man United won a title, right? He
Yes.
was, I don't know when he stopped being a starter, but I think I'm looking at his appearances right now, right? Ever since 1992, bro, right? Up until 2012, he made 20 or more appearances, right? And it stopped being, it was always 25 plus up until 2010. You feel what I'm saying? Like, even when he
Mhm.
was old and gold, bro, 22 appearances, no, 12 appearances still. You feel what I'm saying? Half of which came as a sub, but you get my point. Like, that kind of consistency in and of itself is a talent, bro. Like, to do that, especially for a team like United,
Fair,
bro,
fair, bro. Fair. But bro, he
I
played
just
almost
top
almost
assist
three times that
to,
almost three times the number of games Terry Henry played, and Terry Henry still scored more goals than him. Like, bro, if Mo Salah has more goals than this guy, like
I mean, Mo Salah has more
in
goals
less
than
amount of
Henry.
games, like
Mo Salah has more goals than Henry.
no, he doesn't.
Let's check the test and see.
He doesn't.
No, more GAs than Henry. He has more GAs
Yeah,
than
but he
Henry.
doesn't have more. Yeah,
You feel what I'm saying?
bro.
So let me look at the stats one more time. So you could make that argument if we're just putting purely GAs. Yeah, purely GAs. Actually, he has more goals than the boy. What am I saying? He has more goals. He has more goals than
Yeah, I
Henry.
think Mo Salah is like 180
More
something.
assists than Henry. So, like, what's the like you're talking about output? Output is right there. We can make the argument for Mo Salah. Now, of course,
No,
Henry.
I'm just saying, like, eh, so we need to start from somewhere and bring it down, right? So, first point of view, who is the better player out of? First of all, let's establish our center forward is Wayne Rooney, right?
Yeah, no, guaranteed. Yeah, for sure.
Cristiano Ronaldo has to be in this team, right?
He does, yes. And
Okay, so we're just debating.
where does Cristiano thrive best? I'm gonna put him on the left.
Yeah, no, it depends on who we pick. Because Ronaldo is that good. He could even go and play center forward if we need him to. So let's not do it like let's do it purely based on the player and their abilities.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So now we're debating Mo Salah, Ryan Giggs, and Thierry Henry,
Mm-hmm.
right? So let's start number one. Who is the best player out of these three? It's Thierry Henry,
Okay, what are we defining as the best player?
bro.
What are we defining
He
as
has
best?
like ability. He has better technical ability. He was quicker than all of them, stronger, taller. I mean, the skills, the dribbling, bro. He's a World Cup winner. Come on,
But no,
like
no, World Cup isn't
let's
this.
not do
No,
this.
take World Cup out
I'm
of this.
just saying,
Take World Cup. You can't do that. You can't do that.
invincible season with Arsenal,
Take
bro.
World Cup out of this. Take World Cup out of
Okay,
this.
he has a better goal to game ratio than all these players, man.
Having a better goal to game ratio isn't having more goals or games. Sorry, more goals
Yeah,
or
but it means that you impact more games single-handedly than everyone else, right? It means more Salah, like we've come to see, will score against Southampton but face PSG and disappear. Thierry Henry, it means that
That's
PSG
okay. That's okay. Because
Arsenal,
PSG isn't in the Prem.
they
That's
keep
okay.
doing
That's
it.
fine. Because PSG is not in the Prem, right? When it comes down to the Prem, Salah has just scored more goals and has assisted more times. That's his job as a player. As a right winger, that's his
But he has
job.
spent. But to be fair to
Mhm.
Thierry Henry as well, Salah has spent more time in the Prem than Thierry Henry did.
And that's perfectly fine. That's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and even after spending more time, Thierry Henry still managed to pick up more titles than Mo Salah. So come on,
I mean, no,
what are you doing?
Liverpool had a crazy difference. How many times did Thierry Henry win? Two, three, right? I'm not
Two
even sure.
times.
Two
He's a
times.
two-time
Salah is about
Premier
to win
League
his
champion.
second one. Salah is about to win his second one. Salah is about to win his second one right now.
Me, technically,
Bro,
Thierry
hold
Henry
on.
too has been player of the
Hold on.
season two times,
What?
right? Thierry Henry, player of the season two times.
How many times was the most Salah player of the season? I'm not so sure how many times
I
it
think
was.
once. I think,
Um, let me see.
bro, he's been player of the season just once, man.
Just once? That's fine. That's okay.
Just one.
That's one more
He's
time.
won the Golden Boot award three times. Thierry Henry has won it four times. So individually, Thierry Henry is a better player than Mo Salah. Jojo, we are not going to debate this.
Look, I'm not even trying to debate whether Thierry Henry is better than Mo Salah. What I'm saying is that left wing. I had Thierry Henry. As you see my notes right now, but I had Ronaldo and Thierry Henry. I just thought that if I thought about it, bro, like I need someone who has just scored more goals, made more assists, especially in that position, in these positions, bro.
No.
And I
Jojo, what
don't.
are you saying? We're building a team that could go and face another planet's best 11. And you want us to pick a player who doesn't show up when they play against tough teams. What are you talking about? We're not going to do
But,
that.
but
We
we're
need a
picking a
player.
team.
We need a player that can go to the Santiago Bernabeu and dominate.
No, 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 no,
Thierry
no, no,
Henry,
no. That's not what we need. We need a player who can go to the best team in the Premier League and dominate. Because we're taking this based off of Premier League stats. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah.
off of Premier League stats. I mean, you people
Mhm.
talk like Mo Salah. Never once has he scored more than 30 Premier League goals. Never once, bro.
But if he's doing his number of goals consistently, I'm not even saying Mo Salah's a better player than Henry. I'm just saying he's a better
Dude,
player.
what are you saying?
I'm just saying.
And Henry has a better Premier League legacy than Mo Salah.
Okay, cool. You know
Are you
what?
gonna disagree with that
I'm
as
only
well?
going to concede because of Invincibles.
Invincibles, more
Like,
titles. Like,
Invincibles.
geez,
He
this
has
is
one more
Thierry Henry
title.
we're talking about.
He has one more title. Salah is about to win the second. He has one more player of the season. Salah will win player of the season this year. Salah will win it this year. You know what I'm saying? So like all those things are about to add up. So
We can
like
we can revisit the conversation at the end of the season when Mo Salah has done these things. I'm just saying, I'm not picking Mo Salah. I thought it was gonna be a debate between Mo Salah and Cristiano Seff. Because, bro, if you ask most people who is the greatest Premier League ever player,
Mhm.
Thierry Henry is a name that pops up for most people. It's like number one on the list, right? Because
Yeah.
he actually passes all the tests, the eye test, the
Mhm.
title test. He actually won titles, man.
So
Like
Salah
for
has
the
won
time
one,
he
but
spent in the Prem, he was untouchable, man. He
Mhm.
was like, bro, arguably one of the best players who can say he never won the Ballon d'Or. Thierry Henry.
fair enough. And that it is where it is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not Mo Salah's fault. That's not Giggs' fault. I wanted this to be a debate between Giggs and Henry, not even between Salah and Henry.
Yeah, I'd be open to do gigs, but I'm also like, bro, 632 appearances for a right winger, the kind of output he had, I just don't think it's enough, personally. Right? Because
You don't think
I'm
he's
looking
the
at
top
Thierry
assister
Henry's
right now?
output. What?
He's the top assister right now.
Yeah, but bro, he stayed here for 692 appearances, Jojo. Come on. If Thierry Henry stayed here for 692 appearances, he's gonna crash all the records
If he didn't
based on
say
his.
that, well, I guess we'll never know.
No, no, but come on, Jojo. We are mathematicians. Let's just do
Uh-huh.
a simple goal to game ratio and extrapolate it over the number of games. You are telling me Thierry Henry wouldn't have crashed those? He would have. Like that's like saying because Ronaldo didn't spend the time in here, we don't like. Come on,
That's not the
you
same.
cannot
That's not
say
the
that.
same because Ronaldo actually dominated, bro. Like in a way that's unheard of.
Thierry Henry did.
Ronaldo won
Thierry
the
Henry
Ballon
did.
d'Or.
He was
Ronaldo
two-time
won the
player of the
Ballon
season.
d'Or. Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or. He won the Player of the Season thrice. Twice. Back
Go
to
and check if Rankings has ever been in a top five Ballon d'Or debate. Thierry Henry has finished second or twice, second or third, like at least two or three times.
second,
In 2000,
20th.
in
They just
2003, he was the second best player in the world. In 2003, I think 2003, 2004, he
it.
was FIFA World Player actually. Just never won the Ballon d'Or. So hey,
Okay,
Thierry
so
Henry has to be in
okay, you
our
know what?
prime all time list. Good.
I'll concede. I'll concede to Henry. I'll concede to Henry. But I'm very bitter about gigs though. That is
Oh,
hurt.
shout out to gigs. I'd like to
I'll,
have gigs. I just feel like
I'll concede to Henry.
it's not enough.
I'll concede Henry. So Rooney, tap in striker. I don't think we have to
Tap
debate
in.
that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
that's
we
debatable.
can shout out to different players like Kane. Just that
Mm-hmm.
if Kane won titles, I think would make an argument here for him. If Kane had the titles, Kane is a phenomenal
True.
striker, bro. Like he's up there,
He is. He is.
but he's only scored what 5 more goals than Rooney. So Rooney has more titles. Rooney was more impactful. If I'm being honest, he was just a
All
better
round game. Also
all
has
round
over
game,
100
right?
assists.
Yeah. So I think Rooney's a better player than Kane, not a better striker. But you could make other shouts, Aguero here and there.
Alan Shearer.
Yeah, Alan Shearer. Just people who just score goals, right? And you can even go
Yeah.
down like people like what Defoe, people like
Even Suarez, man.
Suarez.
Suarez
Suarez.
had a good year. He
Yeah,
had one of the
actually,
best years
if we're
in
really doing
Premier history.
extrapolation, that 17-18 season, look, that's when they won,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
when they won. But that's when they were supposed to win. 17-18, they could have easily edged it. Suarez is really good. So shout out to Suarez, but I think Rooney edges it out here. There's no debate. And that Rooney Ronaldo
Yes.
connect, too easy. Matter of fact, you could play a 4-4-2 and play Rooney Ronaldo at the top. Then you could bring my boy Giggs to the left. Giggs like KD.
Jojo, I'm sorry. You're not going to do gigs over Terry Henry. That is just
If we did a
impossible.
4-4-2, I would make the argument. Well, I wouldn't concede. If we did a four, I wouldn't concede it. If we did a 4-4-2,
Nah,
I wouldn't concede
man.
it.
Thierry Henry. Oh, guy, you don't know what you're saying,
No,
bro.
Henry. No, listen. For anyone watching, especially Arsenal fans, Henry was a baller, like pure baller, bro. And I'm not taking that. I think he was a better player, right? When it comes to just technical ability, he was a
Mm-hmm.
better player than all these guys I mentioned here. I just feel pain that Mr. Consistency himself isn't here, but hey, it is what it is. I'll take it. No worries at all. Um,
All
so
right.
is this our 11? I think we have,
That's 11, man.
yeah, in the goal we have Schmeichel, then we have Irwin, Terry, Ferdinand, and Neville. Then Lampard, no, not Lampard, Roy Keane, Scholes, KDB. Then Ronaldo, Rooney, and Mr. Henry. I think this is a good 11. It's a good 11.
Jojo,
Yeah.
we decided on Kyle Walker, not Gary Neville,
Oh,
man. Kyle Walker.
so I was reading off the list I had. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Let me say it again. Let me make the official list. Official press release. Right? So in goal, we have Schmeichel. Right? On the left, we have
Mm-hmm.
Irwin. And on the right, we have Walker.
Yes,
In
sir.
between both of those, we got Terry and Ferdinand. Right?
Mm-hmm.
In front of those, we have Keane and Scholes. And in front of those two, we got KDB. Then blessing us on the left is Ronaldo. On the right, we got Henry. And in the middle, we got Rooney. I think that's a perfect team. I think that's a perfect
Perfect
team.
team, man.
I'm not mad
It's
at
a
it.
perfect team.
I'm not mad at it. hmm How many did we agree on? We agreed on Terry Ferdinand, KDB, and Scholes, Rooney, and Ronaldo. So that's what, six?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yeah, we agreed on six. That's fair.
6 out of 11. That's not bad. That's not
Yeah.
bad. That's not bad. Are you proud of this team?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a perfect team, bro. In my opinion, it's a great team.
I think I'm proud of this
Yeah.
team. Um,
Yeah. I just don't like the blasphemy over Thierry Henry that was happening here.
it
This
wasn't
blasphemy.
blasphemy. I was asking
You
you to
cannot
pick.
accept this
No, like I said, I guys hear me when I say Cunha and Ronaldo are my
blasphemy.
first picks. I just had to sit down and think about it. Like, what about gigs? What about let's consider it. Let's consider gigs. Let's consider
True.
let's see.
Shout out to those guys. Right?
Yeah.
What about Giggs? What about shout out to Mesut Ozil, David Silva, Yaya
Mhm.
Toure, man.
Too
Shout out
many
to
good
them man
players
them.
which played here.
Even Andy Cole. Andy Cole is a
Mm.
very underrated center forward, by the way.
Hmm.
Shout out to Andy Cole as well and all them man thems. But hey, that's our 11.
That's our 11.
Let us know what you think as well. Let's
Hmm.
end with like our GOAT manager.
Oh, I mean, we don't have to discuss this a lot, do we, man? Like, I don't think.
Shout out to Johan. Johan might have different views.
Honestly, but this is undebatable, undiscussable. Matter of
Mm,
fact, we shouldn't even be debating this. But if we need a manager to bring this brilliant squad to win titles, we need to call on our boy Sir Alex. We need to
Sir
call on our
Alex
boy
it
Sir
is.
Alex. Sir Alex will just take it all and on. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a tap in.
That's a
Just
tap in for
easy
sure.
tap in. But maybe we can also, shout out our other players by making a bench. Benches are usually what, 8 players? We can make a quick
Hmm.
bench. So I think
Yes,
for
sir.
the goalkeeper, we'll have Peter Check.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and then I guess we'd have Ashley Cole on the bench.
Ashley Cole.
Ashley Cole and Neville. Right. Those are 3 players.
Mm-hmm.
Um in the midfield,
Oh, Yapstam, by the way.
Yapstam.
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 29.
Yapstam was also a right back. So right back or left back, I'm not even sure.
No, he was a center back. I mean, he's arguably one of
Oh
the
yes.
best one-on-one
Yes.
defenders in the Prem.
Yes.
So, shout out to
So
Yapstam.
okay.
Shout out to who else? Ruben Diaz, bro. Very underrated Ruben
See,
Diaz.
we can't have 5 defenders on the bench.
No, I'm just saying, shout out.
You
Okay,
gotta
so we'll
pick
pick Yap. We'll
Yapstam.
pick
Okay,
Yapstam.
cool. Then you have in the midfield, I think Lampard deserves a shout. Lampard is the direct KDB
Right.
substitute. Where Lampard deserves a shout.
Yes, sir.
And then who else? Uh,
I'm cool with Yaya Toure, man. Yaya
yeah.
Toure.
You know what? Just because,
Or Stevie G.
huh? CVG?
Yeah, that's
Sure,
fine.
you could put Stevie G in there. Sure.
Patrick Vieira.
Oh yeah, I think Vieira instead. Vieira instead of Stevie G. I put Vieira
Yes.
because I know when Roy Keane gets red cards. And
But
then
Vieira will also get red cards.
honestly, yeah. And then we could put. I would put Salah on the bench. Honestly, I'll put him on the
No,
bench.
no, I would take it.
Mhm.
No, I would take it. The thing is, unfortunately, after those three players we've mentioned up front, Salah is the next best attacking
Mhm.
player in Prem. I agree with that. I
Mhm.
just feel like those three edge it. Aguero might even say he edges it.
You could make
You
the
know,
argument. You could make the
but
argument.
yeah.
I wouldn't
So
believe it,
shout
but
out to Mo.
you can make it. Then up front, I would
Yeah,
have Aguero actually instead of Kane. I'd have
I,
Aguero.
will- I, I will not debate it, sir.
Would you rather have Kane?
No, I'll still pick Aguero just because, bro. 5 titles, man, Charlie.
5 titles. That's one goal. That's one the time in 2012.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what Kane is supposed to do, but he can't. So
Mhm,
I'd pick
mhm.
Aguero for that. I guess
Okay.
that's it really. Um
Yeah, man. This
yeah.
was a good
Oh,
session, man.
good session. We didn't talk about Kante enough though. But
He's a good shout.
mhm,
He is. Won at Leicester, went to Chelsea, picked it up as well.
mhm,
Champions League winner, World
mhm.
Cup winner. Now
I
Kante is definitely
when it comes to picking up
a big
accolades, Kante has been scooping them up, bro. A silent assassin,
yeah.
bro. But again, that's just the beauty of the Premier League. It's that good.
Hmm.
So even when you're
Yes,
that
sir.
good, you may not be that good. So again, shout out to Kante. I guess we have a good 11, good session. Guys, let us know what you think in the comments. If you think we're wrong,
Sir.
let us know who your top 11 is. For all the Salah enthusiasts, you know what I'm saying? I know you guys are lingering around there. Talk to us, let us know. But until then, man, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Catch you on the next one.
Peace.